Namaste and welcome everyone. I'm Ashish Parekh. You are seeing me do something that I don't often do, but the reason for that is that there's a new product in the Indian market that is redefining what people expect from a smartphone under 30,000 rupees. I'm being told that this is all power, no BS, whatever that means. And also at the same time, I'm being told that this is rewriting and rechanging the rules of a smartphone device in this segment. In fact, I was just looking at the specifications on the box here, and it's not an average phone, and it's not just a hype train that we're talking about here. This gives you one of the best processors that money can buy. It gives you the biggest battery on any commercially available smartphone in India. And not just that, it's got a lot of style, a lot of attitude, a lot of swagger, just like the person who's joining me here, the country head of POCO India, Mr. Himanshu Tandon. Himanshu, appreciate you joining us here.
Thank you for inviting me here and really excited to have a conversation with you.
Before we get into the details of what this phone does, what makes it so special, and how you managed to pack all of these features in this price range, when you first saw that phone, what were the 7 things that you noticed?
So first of all, if you see, this is a special edition device, right? This is a cyber edition device and you can see a Qualcomm logo over here, right? So overall, the look and the feel of the device is great. It has glass back on the front as well as back. Steel frames, metal frames, first time introduced in the price segment. Snapdragon 8S Gen 4 processor, never seen at that price point. Beautiful cameras, specially tuned for the Indian audience, and a large 7550 mAh battery, the biggest battery in the segment.
Speaking solely on the response that you've seen, the phone is already live. There were a lot of apprehensions how the audience will receive it, because of course, when it comes to marketing, legacy brands don't really need to do it, but phones like POCO need to do it. And like I mentioned to you earlier as well, one of the initial phones I ever bought was a POCO, and it is still one of the longest serving devices I've ever used. So how do you convince consumers that all the features that you're marketing, you're advertising are not just hype and they actually deliver and make a difference to people using it in their day-to-day
I will
lives?
start with the F1 story that you right. So I was the initial founding members when F1 was launched, and I had basically worked on the development of the device. And the key thing that we focused during that time was price to performance. And it's been the 7th generation of F series, and we have maintained that price to performance ratio, giving the maximum performance by bringing a flagship level performance or a chipset at that price point. So that is the core of POCO. As a result of which, the response that we have received is humongous. Yesterday was the first sale and we were stocked out in the first 2 hours. And people are basically messaging me on Twitter everywhere that when is the next sale going to be. So we are seeing tremendous amount of response for our new device, POCO F7.
You mentioned the fact that it was sold out, and I did a check myself. I saw this morning whether it was available on the exclusive store that you're selling it on, and it is completely sold out. Have you ever seen, yes, POCO devices have been great, I am an example of that. Have you ever seen any other POCO product receive this sort of a response from the audiences?
I think F1 was the first product when we were basically trying to change the industry. And after that, this is the second device where we have seen this kind of a response. This again goes to show with our ethos that we have been loyal to our fan base and also loyal to our ethos, that is price to performance, giving maximum performance to our consumers, our gaming audience. And so this is the first device to have an Antutu score of 2.1 million at around 30K.
Absolutely. You're speaking about performance. I was just getting to that. Let's talk about performance. This little phone that you see here packs the Snapdragon 8S Gen 4 chipset, which I believe is one of the best processors money can buy. Now, Himanshu, before I get into the details of the Antutu score and all those technical details, how did you manage to get something like this, which is a flagship grade chipset, I'm being told, into a phone that costs under 30,000?
Yeah, so we have been very closely working with our partners, right? So Qualcomm has been a very loyal partner to us. And if you see, basis of our partnership, we have introduced a Qualcomm logo in the Cyber Silver Edition, right? When we were designing this phone 8 months back, we sat down with our partners that considering our ethos of price to performance, how we can deliver a supreme performance. Qualcomm said that they are introducing a chipset which can totally change the game, and then we partnered with them, introduced a special variant, as a result of which not only we are bringing the performance, but we are introducing a 12 GB variant at that price point. So if you see most of the brand introducing 8128, 8256 at that price point, but we thought that it's not only about the performance, but also the RAM and ROM combination. So the base variant for this device is 12 plus 256 with an Antutu score of around close to 2 million, and it actually packs a punch when you use the device, and especially for gaming audience and our young base fans. I think people are really appreciating it, and that's why we were out of stock yesterday.
Absolutely. In fact, we will get into the gaming side of things and the camera. There are a lot of features that we need to talk about. But before we get to that, speaking about the performance again, how different is it from the competitors? Because we see a lot of big numbers being thrown around. A lot of times it disappoints the audiences, and I think this is a problem with the Indian smartphone industry, where so many features are announced that people get confused. Which phone is the best for them? For example, when you say this has one of the flagship grade chipsets, as a common user, how is it going to make a difference for me? Help me understand in layman terms how much of a difference it makes.
So first of all, the overall experience of, let's say, watching a movie or basically scrolling through the reels would be better. And if you're especially a gamer, the gaming that you can play on the device, there will be no frame drops, the smoothness of the game, operation of the games, it's totally new, next level. Third important thing is battery optimization. So although we are giving a high performance on the device, but we are packing it with the 7050 mAh battery, and it will last 2 days if you charge for 50 minutes. So 50 minutes it will take to charge the entire device, and it will last 2 full days. So we wanted to bring a entire combination of a power packed performance with the battery and the screen and the metal body that we're introducing in the device, making it a most potent device in the segment.
And Himanshu, you've spoken a lot about gaming, and I think this is what separates the bench warmers from the ones that are setting the benchmark. Let me try and see if all the hype that you created here in the studio about the gaming performance, all the hype that I'm seeing on social media is actually true. Let me play a couple of games and see if this does stand out and if it really is bang for the buck as it is being claimed on social media. Performance, Himanshu, is pretty neat. It definitely has impressed me. And the question that I come to here, and this is something that I personally have experienced over the past many years now, is that a lot of phones are advertised as gaming phones. Now, not every user is a gamer, but every user games a little bit. So how do you strike that balance?
So we are not calling this as a gaming device, but especially this variant is suitable for gamers. It's being edgy, the design is edgy, but it's a very powerful and a very complete device. If you see the battery on this device, 7550 mAh battery, which will last a 2 day. We have specially introduced a camera tuning department in India, which tunes to the requirement of India for normal users, right? They like to click pictures and all. So the overall camera experience will be great on this device. And if you have seen in the camera itself, we have introduced a lot of AI features. AI bokeh mode and AI eraser, right? So a lot of AI features we have introduced for normal users, right? So by giving high performance, we target certain set of users, but through other features, through camera optimization, software optimization, big battery, we give a wholesome experience to the other set of the consumers.
Now, if you say that this is not a gaming device, I'm not sure what is, because the performance was pretty smooth. But again, sticking to performance and gaming that we've discussed so far, we'll of course go to the battery later on, which I'm really excited to talk about. Speaking of gaming now, one of the issues that I've seen, even with so-called big brands, legacy brand that people almost spend more than twice of what this phone costs, is that when you start playing top-tier games, there is a lot of lagging, there is heating issue. How do you counter that on this device? Because I've seen claims that this device, and in fact this is from the users as well, the claims that this device does not even heat, and it's got the power in it to counter the big battery as well as the smart processor.
So first of all, for heating specifically, it has a specific cooling technology inside this device, which makes sure that when the temperature is high, it basically neutralizes the temperature, and you can get a smoother experience from gaming perspective. No lags, no shutters, and when you're playing the game. Myself is a very vivid gamer. And we rely on a lot of testing before the device is being launched. So this device goes through 2 months of rigorous testing in all the battlefield for gaming, for battery, and for other kind of stuff that we do, right? So after all the tests that we run, that's why we give a complete device to the audience.
Absolutely. And again, speaking of performance in gaming, high frame rate, lag issues. We see a lot of this issue even in phones that cost a lot more. How does POCO manage to do it in this price point? There has to be a catch. Are you cutting corners, or have you figured out some sort of a desi jugaad, like we call them, to make sure that this device at this price range performs like a top-notch phone?
So I think we don't cut any corners. We believe in giving the extreme experience to all the consumers. So what's the difference between ours and other brands is that we have a very low operation cost. We have a very small team. We are very operationally efficient. So that's why a lot of benefit of being operationally efficient is given to the consumers. We believe in giving the right price to the consumers and not cheat the consumers. We are here to make profits, but at the same point of time, giving a great value to consumers is the top priority for us. And that's how we started. That was the ethos when F1 was launched, and now F7 is again launched. We are keeping the same ethos of the company, and it is a differentiator for us, like you mentioned.
All right, now shifting our focus to the biggest flex, something that was the first thing I heard about this phone, and that is what is getting a lot of people talking. 7550 mAh, and again, I want a cameraman to zoom in here. This just has 7.98 mm thickness. Himanshu, how do you manage, first, such a big battery, the biggest battery in India on any commercially available phone across all segments, and all that in such a thin device?
So first of all, talking about the battery technology, it has silicon carbide EV grade technology, which is being used in our EVs of our sister brand in China, right? So it's a special kind of a battery, which basically is very lean, and that's why we have been able to accommodate in this device. Not only that, we launched X7 Pro, and we were the first brand to introduce a 6500 mAh battery, and now we are the first brand to introduce a 7550 mAh battery. So not only on the processor front, we have been very focused on how we can give a longer battery, which is one of the key consumer asks in our last surveys that we did last year. And we had done it in our X7 Pro series, and now in our F7 series. We're just upping the game from a overall performance and battery point of view.
Now POCO uses silicon carbon EV grade tech, fitting 50% more juice in the same form factor. And it's also, on top of that, got 90 watt fast charging with a 22.5 watt reverse charge option. Himanshu, I'm a simple person. I don't understand numbers, and I don't understand mAh and all those silicon grade EV tech that you're talking about. Help me understand in layman terms, because a phone that cost 3 times of this I've purchased, and it had 4500 mAh, and I was told it's a massive battery, and I was very impressed. I told my friends about it, and they were like, move on, there's much more happening. And when I hear about 7550 mAh, it's massive. Yeah. Tell me in layman terms, how long will this last me? I am a regular user. Sure. I don't game a lot. I only use it for my work. How long is it going to last me? And also, the fact that you have such a massive battery, I don't know how you're fitting it here. Is it safe?
Yeah. So first of all, to charge this phone, right? So it also comes with 90 watt of fast charging. You can charge this device with around 50 to 51 minutes. And then this phone will last for a normal user approximately 2 days. That's the power of
2 days. So you're basically saying if I charge it once,
yeah,
and if I'm a normal user, I don't have to charge my device for 2 days.
Exactly, approximately 2 days. Not only that, this device is basically, we call it as a virtual power bank. This also comes with 22.5 watt of reverse charging. So if you have a reverse charger, you can basically charge your laptop also or other devices through this phone. So not only from an overall battery point of view, this has a reverse charging capability because of the technology of battery that we are using in this device.
Himanshu, I mean, what's the secret? What's the secret sauce? How are you managing to do all this in 30,000 rupees? I'm already having regrets about my phone that I've spent so much for. How are you managing to do this in 30,000 rupees?
Again, sticking to our ethos, working very efficient with a lean team, lean operations, and passing all the benefits to the consumers. So this is our differentiation. No secret sauce. The secret sauce is in front of everyone. It's just how you execute things and bring value to the consumers.
And Himanshu, you're using words like power bank. You're saying you have the biggest battery in India on any phone in this tiny little device that's less than 8 mm. Help me understand, how durable is it? How safe is it? Because from what I see, this has a very beautiful back, and if I drop this phone, it's going to break my heart. So help me understand how safe is it and how durable is it?
Sure. First of all, we are introducing metal frames first time on a POCO device, which makes it even more solid. Secondly, we are using a Gorilla Glass 7 eye protection not only on the front of the device but also on the back of the device. So in case the phone falls, right? So it has a very sturdy protection of a Gorilla Glass 7 eye on front and the back. It also comes with IP68 and IP69 protection. For example, if you are using the device in the rain or sometimes accidentally it falls in the water, nothing will happen to this device. So from, let's say, other performance oriented things that we have already discussed, but from a durability point of view, this is a beast.
And this phone is practically indestructible. IP69 rated, Wet Touch 2.0, supports up to 60 kg load, which means that this is not just a sleek phone, it's also an absolute beast. I mean, it's got a back I would love to flaunt. I wouldn't want to cover it with a back cover. So are you saying that I can have the heart to use it without a back cover, the sturdy ones that we are forced to use?
Definitely, definitely. So we have you covered with the Gorilla Glass 7 eye protection because of this device.
Also, even as we talk about the back, one of the things that's unmissable is this unique camera design that you got. Before we get to the design, it's got a 50 megapixel Sony IMX882 sensor with OIS as well. And I was just looking through the spec sheet. It's got a bunch of AI features. Now, again, like I told you, I'm a simple man. I don't understand all these AI tools. I don't know how efficient they are. Help me understand how will this perform on a day-to-day basis for someone like me who just clicks photos. I am not a pro. I don't know what settings to go to. I'm just a normal user. So how is this camera better than the competitors?
Apart from the hardware specification that you just mentioned, from a layman term perspective, if you're doing a night photography on this device, I think the photos will be superb. Also, from an edge detection point of view, you will get a clear detection and the overall pictures would be quite beautiful. Thirdly, what we have optimized this time, we had an India-specific tuning team which had tested this device, especially on a camera for last 2 months, fixing all the issues with regards to skin tone, right? So we Indians have a different kind of a skin tone as compared to others, right? So that kind of tuning, optimization has been done on this time, on this device, to make sure that it is not only a performance-centric device, but also like for yourself, normal person, right? How we can give a supreme camera experience to the consumers. That's why a lot of improvements has been done in that area also.
Absolutely. It's interesting you call me a normal person, and besides that, also it's interesting that you say that it's tuned for India, because we of course see a lot of times that pictures that are clicked anywhere outside India, they have a lot more clarity, and a lot of that has to do with pollution as well. So are you telling me that even in winters here in Delhi, when I struggle to get a normal shot, despite all the exposure and everything, I will still get a good shot on this device?
Exactly. Not only about the different conditions, but also different skin tones. We in India, if you go from region to region, right, we have different skin tones. So this has been optimized for different skin tones also during the tuning process. And through the rigorous testing, we have fine-tuned our software so that the output of the camera this time is superior.
So it's not the types that will whitewash everyone, because I see that a lot happening at the front camera and the back camera, regardless of what color you are, it just whitewashes you. It makes you look alien in a way.
No. So we have made sure that this time all the pictures and the video that you make from this device are superior as compared to the competition that is there in the market.
Here's what's interesting. You made a lot of claims about the numbers and everything, and we found that your phone not just has the biggest battery on any phone in India, it also has one of the best, in fact the best battery backup in this segment. Digit Test Labs findings also reveals that India's largest battery delivers the longest runtime in the entire segment. But again, we are not going to let you off the hook there. We've got a lot of questions for you coming in from the audiences as well. A lot of people have a lot of doubts before they actually pay even 30,000 rupees for this phone. Let's listen in.
What makes the POCO F7 stand out against the other brands in the market?
First of all, the performance, obviously the processor is same in both the devices, but our base variant comes with a 12 GB variant. And if you see the price difference between both the devices, it's around approximately 4 to 5K. In that price bracket, and POCO is being known for price to performance ratio. Moreover, this device packs with 7550 mAh battery, which is actually first in this segment. Not only that, but the optimization of the battery as well as the camera on the device will actually stand out when you use this device. And I think from a price to performance ratio, which is basically the heart of POCO, it supersedes the competition.
I bought my last phone 3 years ago. Now I want to upgrade. Why should I buy the POCO F7?
This is, if you have an F series or X series, this is the perfect upgrade this time, because we have highly optimized the device. We are bringing the biggest battery in the segment, latest processor 8S Gen 4 this time around. Not only that, for our first time users, or basically people who are buying the device in the first sale, we have an extra 1-year warranty, extra free replacement for the first sale, which we are also going to do it for the second sale also, because of the response has been great. So I think it's a perfect time for you to upgrade the device. We have certain good exchange offers for you guys for the first 2 sale days, and I think you will love the device. Happy to hear feedback from the consumers who have bought the device, and tag me on my Twitter account. I will more than happy to answer your queries.
Wow, the design of this phone is super cool, but my question is, will it be able to keep up with all of my content creation?
Yeah, so we have 3 colors in our device: black, white, and this is a special variant, cyber silver edition, that we have with a Qualcomm logo. So I think most of the people are liking this variant. So basically the overall design is edgy, but from a content creation point of view, so this has a very highly optimized performance processor, which basically helps in when you are basically creating videos. This also has, the camera has EIS plus OIS optimization. So when you are recording any video content, the stabilization of the performance of the video is great on the device.
I just saw a video with Akshay Kumar. What was his comments on the phone?
So I think the overall experience with Akshay sir was really great. I don't know, a lot of guys have seen the entry in X7 Pro where he came on his bike in our entrance in X7 Pro. This time around, we wanted to do an offline event but could not do it because of certain circumstances. But overall, he really liked the device. In fact, he took certain devices for himself and the family members. We had given him the device, and he really liked the overall touch and feel, especially this color. So he has given me a feedback after 2 days that, Himanshu, have charged this phone, and this phone has been running for the last 2 days. And he was really happy with the performance and the optimization that we have done this time around.
Absolutely. Unbeatable is the word. It is a phone that is the best in class. Forget about the best in class. In fact, it performs better than a lot of phones in a higher segment as well. And to all our viewers who are watching right now, considering the POCO F7, it is already live on Flipkart. And don't worry, I'm sure even just like me, you'll also see a lot of off the shelf, out of stock, messages there on Flipkart as well. But don't worry, Mr. Himanshu Tandon is making sure that it is all getting stocked, and he's making sure that the phone is available, because why not? It's got the best battery, it's got the best processor, it's got all this attitude and a lot more in just under 30,000 rupees.